Okay, I'm going to start a video on, or make a video on review for the rock cycle. And what I have up is I just searched rock cycle diagram, and you can see that there are a ton of different rock cycle diagrams. And it's kind of like the periodic table and many things in science. They all have kind of the same information, or pretty much the same information. They just look a little different. This one here is the one that I used for my first video on the rock cycle, so I'm not going to use that. Um, I probably should have checked ahead of time, but I'm going to use this one, and a little more complicated, but I'm going to go with it just to show you that we can use anyone. First of all, we need to take a look at what is a rock. A rock is or can be a mineral. And once again, a mineral can be an element. A mineral has to be a solid, and it has to be inorganic, I'm sorry. Whereas a rock can be a mineral, anything that encompasses a mineral, and then on top of it, we're going to add, it can be inorganic also. And that's going to be things like coal and some of our limestones, but we'll get to that. So a rock can be, a rock is kind of like a mixture or a compound, whereas a mineral is more of an element or a smaller base unit of it. So on this diagram, we have our types of rocks. We have our igneous rock, we have our metamorphic rock, and we have our sedimentary rock. And we can start anywhere. And each type of rock has something that hopefully you go, boom, I know what it is. So we normally start and I normally start in our 8th grade, we start with an igneous rock. And in order to get an igneous rock, it has to come from molten rock or melted rock. Melted rock is called magma. So anytime we see or hear melting magma, we think igneous. Okay, so melting gives us magma, which gives us igneous rock. And igneous rock can melt and go back into magma. Igneous rock can go under weathering, erosion, and deposition. So weathering is the breaking down of rock into smaller bits. Erosion is the moving of the small bits of rock. And the settling down of those small bits of rock is called deposition. Those small bits of rock are called sediment. So igneous rock can become weathered, moved and deposited, and that sediment then becomes compaction and cementation. So anytime you hear compaction and cementation, you should think, boom, sedimentary rock. Okay, so sedimentary rock is from any rock, because if we take a look at it, metamorphic rock can be weathered, erosion, and deposition, and sedimentary rock can go through weather, erosion, and deposition. So weather, erosion, and deposition makes us think sediment. Sediment, compaction, and cementation thinks us of sedimentary rock. And if we take sedimentary rock, or if we take igneous rock, or if we take metamorphic rock and put it under heat and pressure, we get metamorphic rock. So if we take sedimentary rock and put it into heat and pressure, it is going to turn into metamorphic rock. Now it's not melting. Okay, we need to make sure that that's clear. Melting gives us magma, magma gives us igneous rock. Heat and pressure gives us metamorphic rock. Big difference. Okay, so igneous rock, we should be thinking melting magma, igneous rock. Anytime we hear weather, erosion, deposition, that makes us think sediment. Compaction and cementation of sediment gives us sedimentary rock. Heat and pressure gives us metamorphic rock. All of these diagrams are going to be kind of similar. They're all going to be similar, but not the same. And I'm not going to lie, you're going to have you have one, you're going to have one of these on the quiz, and you're going to have one on the test. So good luck on the test. Good luck on the test.